What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know that it's been like 2 months since I've uploaded. No, it's been like a month. But I just went through like this dry spell of just where I just did not want to do anything. For either the Rated R for Real entertainment podcast or this 206 to 559 football podcast. I know I look crazy. I'm wearing a hat because my hair's wolfing. My hair's trash. My room's a mess. I'm trying to clean it. Ignore everything behind me. Pay attention to that cool painting and that flag. More will come. But right now, I'm going to do a post Super Bowl mock draft. Um, I do plan on doing another video of just postseason wrap ups, what I thought about the Super Bowl, and other things like that. Um, but I'm just gonna get this no trades mock draft post Super Bowl going. This is what I would do if I was all 32 NFL GMs. A couple teams, such as my team, the Seahawks, don't have a first round pick. So we will be doing a 2 and 3 round mock draft in the following days. I am trying to get 3 videos out. I think I'm going to do of course, this first round mock draft, no trades. And then I am going to be uploading a post Super Bowl season recap and what I thought of the game. I know I'm like 4 days late. I'm recording this on Thursday. I'm gonna be uploading this on Thursday, but the other ones I'll be uploading later this week. I'm trying to do tomorrow, Friday, and one upload on Sunday. I'll probably do the second and third round mock draft Sunday, and I'll upload the post Super Bowl thought video and podcast tomorrow on Friday. But this YouTube isn't the only thing that I record on. I do also record my podcast. It's on every major podcast streaming podcast app and website. Podcast app on Apple Store, Spotify, I think SoundCloud, some other ones. I'm not really sure which every app is, but I do upload audio podcasts if you don't want to see my beautiful face. But if you keep seeing me stare over it this way, it's because I'm trying to look at myself, make sure I don't look crazy. But let's just hop into this right now. Number 1 pick, man, if I was the Jags, I would love getting Trevor Lawrence, but I just don't trust, Urban Meyer and just, Urban Meyer has not been able to, produce quarterbacks, so, Ohio State quarterbacks never panned out. Florida quarterbacks never panned out. Cam Newton doesn't count. He went to Auburn. If I was the Jags, I would definitely try and shop the first pick. The Jets, I'm pretty sure the Jets, the Falcons, and the Eagles would be number 1 priority for the number 1 pick. But you never know who could come calling. But, this is just what I would do as a GM. I would just take Trevor Lawrence, of course, best quarterback off the board. I love Gardner Minshew, love the hype around him, but I just don't believe that he's the game-changing guy. Hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me in the butt. Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, Jets are on the board now. They forfeited the number 1 pick because he wanted to start winning the last 2 games of the season. As much as people love, excuse for the ads, I don't. If you guys want to donate me some money, Cash App, PayPal me to get rid of these ads, I would greatly appreciate that. But people love Zach Wilson. I'm not the biggest fan of his. He is my number 4 quarterback. You'll see who I like above him. You guys can probably guess it's Trey Lance. But I just don't like Zach Wilson. He gives me too much Mitch Trubisky vibes, just too much hype, athletic, Caucasian quarterback, I'm going to say, with a decent zip, good ball placement, but I feel like he's not going to transition as well from BYU into a team that is in dire need of a quarterback like the Jets. I love Justin Fields. When I start doing, my top 10, 15 positional players for the draft coming up, which is coming very soon in April, but I will be doing player rankings daily up until the pro days. No combine this year, up until the pro days. And then post pro day, I will do another. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was super dry and I don't have any water. But I'll be doing Almost knocked myself out. I will be doing um a post pro day. Just take that thing out of my face. A post pro day positional ranking as well. Even though there are no official numbers for the 40, which are the most important, stat for almost every player except for offensive linemen and punters and kickers. And but post pro day, I will be doing another one. Justin Fields, I've been saying this since day one. I it's not close. I don't know why people are on this Zach Wilson hype train. Look, he's Mitchell Trubisky 2.0. Yes, he's got a little bit more arm through him, but he's still that very same build, same literally he's a copy and paste of Mitch Trubisky. There's no difference coming out of college. I love Justin Fields. It's 1A and 1B for me, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Justin Fields just has that dog and he can play now. I'm going to take Justin Fields at number 2 over Zach Wilson. He's just that dog, man. He's just got it. You could just see it in his face when he lost. Was it the championship game? You could definitely tell he wanted that. And I thought he was going to come back, and I thought he was going to be hungry and come back for his senior year and say, "I'm going to take Ohio State to the championship to the championship game, and I'm going to win it this time." But nothing yet. I think he's a for sure declaree as a true junior. He's got that dog. I think he could be the best quarterback out of this whole class. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins are up on the board. You could see the needs on the screen, but I don't believe receiver is in the first round for them. I think they could easily get a top number 2, number 1 receiver right off the bat in the second round. So number 3, my actual number 1 overall big board player. I'll actually do a big board prediction video right after this. So you'll get 2 videos today. But we will have Penei Sewell out of Oregon. He opted out this year, I'm pretty sure. I think so. I have to check my sources, which is Google. But yeah, Penei Sewell, really good, really solid. He was in the Heisman running last year. Penei Sewell, I know he has a lot of hype from last year, and people are like Rashawn Slater this. And then let me see who are the other tackles. Why is my screen doing this? I need to get the Rashawn Slater, Christian Darrisaw. Tevin Jenkins is really climbing. Dylan Ray Dunes is a guy that's really, really climbing too. But honestly, I just like Penei Sewell. He's really athletic, really big. He's got a lot of upside. He's the highest floor and highest upside player in this draft, in my opinion. He's going to come in, be a day 1 starter, going to be a Joe Thomas type player, Pro Bowl every year, All Pro every year. So consistent. The only thing that's going to hold him back could potentially be injury, which I pray to God. Never wish bad on anybody. Number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, what is going on? The Atlanta Falcons. I have the Atlanta Falcons. I said I don't like Zach Wilson at number. He's not my top 3, but he will be my number 3 board coming off. Zach Wilson is a guy, 21, true junior, who can come off and sit behind Matt Ryan for a year or 2. I only believe Matt Ryan only has 2 years left in his career. So Zach Wilson comes off the board. I will be doing a fun first round mock draft next week, I believe. I'm trying to do more mock drafts because it's mock draft season for every YouTuber that does football content. So I better hop on that train ASAP. You can't beat him, join him. But number 4, Zach Wilson. Like I said, Mitch Trubisky. But if he sits behind a Matt Ryan, who is a master at just dissecting and processing pre and post snap plays, if Zach Wilson can sit behind him for 2, 3, even just 1 year and just really learn behind him, he could take off next year as a 22-year-old, guy learning a whole year behind Matt Ryan, leading this franchise into the future. Zach Wilson is a guy that if he sits behind the right quarterback, like a Matt Ryan, who is a great processor pre and post snap, he can really develop into a top quarterback. Not that I'm knocking him. He's just not my favorite. Number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals. Whoops, let me turn off my phone. Very non-professional. But number 5, Cincinnati Bengals. I love Joe Burrow. He's a top 10 quarterback before he got hurt. He was really good. But you're looking at all the needs: wide receiver, tackle, interior offensive line. They do have Jonah Williams. I love their receiving core. They have a big 2-headed monster, Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd more of a slot. T. Higgins more of a slower possession perimeter guy. So you're instantly thinking speed for position, right? Number 5, speed for position on receiver and offensive line. I don't think I would take Rashawn Slater. I love Sam Cosmi, but I would not take him yet. I would not take Christian Darrisaw yet, and I definitely wouldn't take Elijah Vera Tucker or any of the other interior offensive linemen. I think Tevin Jenkins, with his tenacity, he could kick inside the guard, but I would not take him top 15. He's just a little too raw for me, in my opinion. And I would not go receiver. It's a waste. There's at this top end, yes, you have speed in Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle, and you have size and nice strength combo with Jamar Chase, who I think is going to be Julio Jones 2.0. But I would not take a receiver or offensive lineman here. Yes, this is going to sound crazy, and people who do not know who Kyle Pitts is, you have to look him up right now. Look his stats up, highlights up, film up. I'm taking Kyle Pitts, number 5. Yes, it says he's a tight end, and you're thinking, tight end? 6'5", 260-pound guy. You're thinking of the prototypical guy like a Gronk or, like a Kittle. Those are bad comparisons because those guys are really good, really big. But Kyle Pitts is about 6'7", 240 pounds. They list him as 6'7", 235. I think he's going to show up a lot bigger at the weigh-in on his pro day. But Kyle Pitts is really good, really athletic. He's not as fast as people think he is. He looks like a tall receiver. He looks really fast, but he's more streamlined, more smooth, fluid athlete. Kyle Pitts can line up at tight end. I don't like him in line, so CJ Uzomah or Drew Sample, who you drafted a year ago. See if those guys stay in line. But Kyle Pitts is a guy that could play outside receiver, slot, in the seam, in a wing, out of the backfield. Doesn't matter where he lines up. He's a playmaker. I could see him being an all-pro and Pro Bowl for a decade and a half. Kyle Pitts out of Florida, tight end, positional player. Doesn't matter what he is. I know I'm really hanging around the top 5 picks. I'll try and get it going. Number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Receiver. Yes, they drafted Jalen Reagor last year. Yes, I'm a big fan of Greg Ward. Yes, I love jump ball Travis Fulgham. But you just don't have that separator. You just don't have that guy that can just get open. You just don't have that dog that's going to draw the attention of the coordinator, the DB coach, the linebacker coach, the head coach. You're not going to get attention from Greg Ward or Jalen Reagor or Travis Fulgham. But you will get the attention of a guy named Devonta Smith. Yes, Jamar Chase is the number 1 receiver here. Jamar Chase was my number 1 receiver before the championship game. And then after I saw what Devonta Smith did to that boy Sean Wayne, woo, man, he's my number 1 clear cut. I was going to do a post-championship game breakdown podcast, and my new number 1 receiver, I actually had that in my notes, but I'm sorry, guys. I tell you the truth, I got lazy. I just got lackadaisical in just this process with this podcast and the next one. Devonta Smith is that separator, is that guy, and he is going to elevate this receiving core the next level. And here is when the receiver run starts. And receiver and DB run starts, as I should say. Number 7, the Lions just made a big trade. They lost that trade. People like, it was a good trade both sides. No, the Rams robbed them. But, Jared Goff is a processor. He's a guy that needs 3-4 seconds for the crossers to break down, for the screen to open up, for the vertical pass game on the outside to open up. And what do? You grab a guy that can do everything and anything you want. Jamar Chase, I don't want to say 1A, 1B. He is my number 2 as of now. He opted out. If he didn't opt out, it would be 1A, 1B with Devonta Smith. But since he opted out, he's number 2 right now. Sorry, man. Love you. Love the potential. He looks really big. They weigh him at about 6'1", 205. But he looks about 6'2", 220 pounds of just pure muscle. He's big, chiseled, jump ball, contested catch guy, downfield speed. He's got everything you want. He just doesn't possess that elite, red zone threat size. But he's a guy that can stretch the field vertically, horizontally, in the screen game. Great, tenacious jump ball guy. 50-50. There's probably only 1 or 2 guys I would want Jamar Chase with in that conversation. Number 8, A lot of teams, I know that I'm going to be on that train, but a lot of teams are mocking Trey Lance, and I think that that's the move. Yes, Trey Lance is what, 22, turning 23, sitting behind a Teddy Bridgewater who had a decent season, but I know it's corny. Literally every football content creator says this, but Bridgewater is a bridge quarterback. I love him. Love the comeback story. He was my number one quarterback coming out of that 2015 draft. You're like, what? This guy was doing stuff. Well, I bought the magazines. I looked at the apps, the NFL apps, the combine, everything. He was my number one quarterback. He was my favorite guy. Love Teddy Bridgewater, but he's a guy that he signed a 3-year here. I think it was a front-loaded contract. Don't quote me on that. So Trey Lance could sit a year behind Bridgewater. If Bridgewater doesn't play how you like it, his first year of his contract's over. So you're going to lose. You're not going to lose too much money off of that. Trey Lance, number 8 off the board, North Dakota State. If you guys don't know, he opted out this year. He only played like 2 games, 1 game, a showcase game. But he's a guy that is really good. No turnovers a year ago, 36 touchdowns. He had like 12 rushing he had like 20 something, 28 something passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns. Don't quote me on the stats. I got to pull them up. But he's just a guy that did not turn over the ball. Yes, it's North Dakota State, who you literally rarely play NFL talent. But he is a guy that is, just if you don't make mistakes, you don't mistakes. If you're a winner, you're a winner. That's just clear cut, no matter what the competition looks like. And number 9, I have the Denver Broncos. I know this video is going really slow. I'm just trying to break down my own thoughts of what I'm doing here. But number 9, you can see the needs: edge, corner, and linebacker. You're like, offensive line, in my opinion, is a bigger need behind Drew Lock. I love Drew Lock. I don't know why people don't believe in him. I believe he could be the next Dan Marino. You're like, whoa. This dude has not been Dan Marino through his first, 2 years? Did he get drafted this year or last year? I don't remember, man. It's been a long 2020, bro. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But, I think he has Dan Marino upside. You're going to get Jay Cutler or Dan Marino. It just depends on how you help him. And right now, I don't think he needs help yet. I would get help for this defense. I'm not going to take an edge. I'm going to take my number 1 corner, Patrick Surtain. I think he's really good, really physical. Reminds me of Marcus Peters, just a twitch faster. Number 10, I don't like the Draft Network. Please sponsor me, Draft Network. But I don't like their team need here, offensive tackle. I think that their number 1 issue is, yes, corner and interior pass rush. I'm not the biggest fan of Caleb Farley. People are like, this dude's going to be an uber elite athlete. Yes, he's fluid, but doesn't mean he's uber athletic. Doesn't mean he's got straight line speed. Doesn't mean he's got that twitch. Yes, he has good ball skills, but he just does not have that number 1 corner speed that I would like. Patrick Surtain, yes, has very good speed, but he does not have elite athlete speed. But his tenacity and his physicality at the line of scrimmage and press is just super, super dominant compared to Caleb Farley. I just don't like Caleb Farley in this position. I would not take Sam Cosmi or Rashawn Slater yet. And I know Micah Parsons is falling because of the off-field issues. Yes, if you haven't known, he is a bully to new recruits to the team. But look, I think if I'm an organization that has a long-running, with bad – I know my boy's a Cowboy fan, Julian, with bad players off the field, I think I might as well take a shot with another one, see what happens. You never know. In my opinion, he is a top 3 athlete in this draft class. If you haven't seen Michael Parsons, look up his body physique. That dude looks like Adonis, chiseled. He looks like a Greek god statue. Michael Parsons, number 10 here. A lot of teams are going for that off-ball Kyle Van Noy type of build. Jamie Collins, oh, my hair's crazy, where they can line up at edge, outside of a 5-tech end and just come off, or line up at pure hand in the dirt, or stand up off ball in a 3-4 or nickel situations. He's just that guy. He can play everything. He's a guy that, he's falling because of that off-field issues. But I think that's something that a team like the Cowboys are going to take a risk on, and they could end up pay off, and he could end up being, a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's just how he is. LT, um, Lawrence Taylor type of upside. He can do everything. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, Lawrence Taylor. Number 11, New York Giants. Edge and linebacker is a big need. I love Jalen Waddle. He is my number 3 receiver. It's close. I've been a Jalen Waddle fan for the past 2 years. Me and my boy Julian are very high on Jalen Waddle. I think he's that game changer. Freak athlete. Super uber compact body. I think he has Tyreek ability. He is maybe a stride not as fast as Tyreek, but he still has elite speed, quickness, and he adds slot, backfield, and outside receiver ability and return ability, which is very, very key in flipping a potential game, a potential drive. 10 yards is the difference between a game-winning punt return drive or just flailing out and going to overtime. That's the difference. That's what Jalen Waddle brings, that one play, big mismatch ability with speed and athleticism. I love Jalen Waddle here. And number 12, the San Francisco 49ers. Right here, honestly, I would just take a stab, but not at Caleb Farley, not at J.C. Horn, but at my guy that I'm a true believer in. I don't want to do this, but a lot of people are going to probably click off this video. But I think Shaun Wade is going to be a Damon Arnett pick here. I like Shaun Wade. I feel like he fits this scheme here in San Fran. Yes, I think they have a second-round pick. I'm not sure. I have to check. But no trade mock draft. I'll do a trade mock draft sometime next week. Oh, man, I just keep setting myself up for failure. That means I'll be uploading like 4 videos a week. But I don't care. I do this because I love it. But I like Shaun Wade. Yes, I just said that Devonta Smith burned him, in that, a lot of these guys are just, a lot of draft and football analysis have Shaun Wade falling out of the first round. I just don't. I just don't believe Shaun Wade is not a first-round pick. He's been my favorite. He was my number 1 corner at the end of last year. He's my number 2 corner this year. I just believe that. This is that guy. Yes, he played majority of his snaps in the slot, but slot DBs are almost as worth as a number 1 corner. If you don't have a dominant slot corner, you will not have a dominant pass defense. That's just how it is. Shaun Wade, number 12 overall, in a trade down mock draft, I would probably, people are like, but they have such big needs. No, you don't. Health was an issue. When health is ready, when this team is healthy, this is a Super Bowl contending team coming from a Seahawks fan. So Shaun Wade, adding another interior guy, he can play outside, but adding another slot guy who can be really good, I think you have to take that chance with an aging Sherman in his last year of his contract, I believe, and Ahkello Witherspoon, who I am a big fan of. Shaun Wade, number 12 off the board in a no-trade mock draft, makes sense to me. Now, number 13, this is when Rashawn Slater comes off the board. That's it. He's my number 3 corner, but he's a Charger. He looks like a Charger. Number 14 on the board, you have the Minnesota Vikings. And you're like, wait, edge is not a big need. Edge is a need, in my opinion. Yannick Ngakoue was not the move last year. Danielle Hunter, very athletic, very powerful, very dominant as a pass rusher. He could use a counterpart. And what else than another dominant, chiseled, super athletic edge rusher than Kwity Paye? If you haven't looked him up, he is the thing of nightmares. He can wreck a game by himself. Kwity Paye out of Michigan, dominant edge rusher. I would just say he's a game wrecker. Change that position. Number 15, I know I would love to have Kyle Pitts fall this far. I don't think he's going to fall out of top 10. Someone's going to fall in love with him, like the Bengals, that can move him around. And you're looking at number 15, receiver and tight end. What is that? That's playmakers. And a playmaker that I really love, Rondale Moore. Me and my boy Julian, big on Rondale Moore. Yes, he is not as big as I hoped he would. I thought he'd be coming in at about 5'10", 5'11", 190, 95 pounds. He weighed in at about 5'9", 180. That is not my prototypical size, but like this is a dude that just makes plays from a true freshman in a bad Purdue offense to a guy that missed major snaps last year and just couldn't produce as he did in his first 2 years. But he's a guy that is really good, movable. That's something you have to be able to do in this league. That's something that Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Rondell Moore, as you can see, and Jalen Waddle can do. These guys can move outside, slot, to play wing. These guys can play in the backfield. These guys are just so, universally talented that they can do whatever they want. Rondell Moore, number 15, he's going to be the number one coming in next year in the New England offense. And number 16, the Cardinals, another division rival. I actually like J.C. Horn over Caleb Farley. I just think he's just not that guy. I think he's just not as athletic as everybody thinks. Watch him come out and run like a 4.35 at his pro day. Just make me eat my words. Make me eat my words, Caleb Farley, please. J.C. Horn, really good. His dad was Joe Horn, receiver for the Saints. Really good, J.C. Horn. I'm not in love with him like everybody else is. I just think he's a really solid outside corner. He's going to come in as a number 2. Pat Pete aging. Drake Kirkpatrick hated that signing this year. Thanks for signing him though. Tyler Lockett made a fool out of him in both games, but J.C. Horn here coming as number 2, finish as a number 1. Number 17, the Las Vegas Raiders. Go Raiders! But edge is one of their needs. If I'm a head coach coming in, I would walk up. Oh, who's that? Who's their GM? I forgot. He was an analysis. It's gonna come by me in the butt. I forgot his name. I love you. What's his name? I just saw him on the app. But edge is a big need. I don't think edge is a big need. Max Crosby, the white boy with the most swag, as I said, coming in his rookie year, showed up. Stats down this year, but I think he's still got that upside. Clayton Farrell showed up as a monster in the run game. Arden Key, I still believe, has upside. A 6'6", 6'7" D end. Oh, excuse me. With potential, huge potential. Breakout year this year. Watch out. Edge is not a big need. Linebacker, Nick Kwiatkowski's really good. Overpaid for Corey Littleton, but I'm a big fan because he's from Washington. A lot of teams are mocking, a lot of NFL analysis are mocking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK to him, who's an oversized safety, undersized linebacker. I just don't do it. You have basically the same play according to Littleton. So I'm gonna reach and take Elijah Vera Tucker. I'm a big fan of him. He is my number 1 interior offensive lineman. But I just think that top 20, no. But just due to need, I think I'd have to take him in a no trade first round mock draft. Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC, very big. He has tackle flexibility. And then number 18, I said I know they don't need receiver, and they do have another first round pick coming up, I believe. I don't think so. I don't think they do have another first round pick. But there is so much talent at receiver and this and that with Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, Kadarius Toney coming in could potentially fall to the second round. Najee Harris, Travis Etienne potentially falling. But I'm going to go Zaven Collins here. He's a guy that, if you guys don't remember, there's a guy named Zach Bond from Wisconsin, edge rusher. Is he an edge rusher? Is he an off-ball linebacker? Is he a middle linebacker? Is he a weak side backer? Is he a strong side backer? Can he put his hand in the dirt and play DN? Doesn't matter. Zach Bond, I still think has really good potential, but Zaven Collins is already better than him, bigger than him, faster than him, and more instinctual than him coming out of Tulsa. Yes, I know there's a guy named Kyle Van Noy on this team that a lot of NFL teams are trying to recreate that off-ball edge linebacker hybrid like Michael Parsons is and Zaven Collins is. Zaven Collins is a monster of a man. At 6'4", 260 pounds, you should not be able to move in space like that. It's just incredible. Zaven Collins, number 18 overall pick. He's the guy that could potentially be the new mold of linebacker, as Cam Chancellor was for safeties and as Russell Wilson was for quarterbacks. Zaven Collins could be this new mold of big, mobile, really just fluid, athletic linebacker. Number 19, yours truly. Just kidding. You're not going to take a quarterback here. Not the biggest believer in Mac Jones or Kyle Trask. I would actually take Jamie Newman over both of those guys. But right here, big need, right? Offensive line, playmaker, receiver, quarterback. Caleb Farley fell this far. He's not falling anymore. I told you I'm not the biggest fan of him, but it's just best player off the board at this point. I am taking Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. I think he's just going to end up moving inside the slot like Kendall Fuller and just play really, really good slot corner. Number 13 overall player on the Draft Network's predictive board is coming off the board. Out of Texas, Samuel Cosme, one of my fan favorite picks from last year. I think he's a guy with really good potential. He's going to come in on a little bit short arm, T-Rex arm guy, as some people say. Honestly, I don't really care. He's a tackle. He's going to come in and play tackle for the Bears, and he's going to come and play tackle for the Bears for a long time. Number 21, a lot of people are probably going to be calling for Mac Jones or something at this stage. But look, you've got, Jacoby Brissett, who I think would have went farther into the playoffs than Phillip Rivers. Jacob Eason, who is a monster NFL talent. He just has to really show up and produce in the offseason. If we have a preseason, he's really got to show up. I'm a big believer in that quarterback group, but I'm not a big believer in that secondary or receiving core. So, what do you think? As a team, Rocky Sin in the second round last year, slow, good zone corner, physical, bad penalties. Kenny Moore, nice slot corner, upside to play outside, a little small. Xavier Rhodes, do you want to bring him back? What, 31? 31-year-old corners usually don't end up being very good. Off of a new team, new contract. So I'm going to take a very big slot receiver, Terrace Marshall. I know Rashad Bateman is up here. He's actually, in my opinion, a lot better than Terrace Marshall could potentially be in flexibility. But look, you need size in that receiving core. T.Y. Hilton, 5'9". He's not going to be your answer outside. Yes, you just drafted Michael Pittman. Basically, in the first round, was he the 33rd, 34th overall pick? Yes, you just drafted him, but he is a slower, bigger body receiver. Terrace Marshall has a little bit more speed and fluidity, and I think that he's going to add a nice variation. Slot speed, quickness, T.Y. Nice possession perimeter guy in Michael Pittman. And then just a guy that can work the middle, Terrace Marshall. LSU, big fan. Number 22, we have I don't know how Tennessee made it this far with that abysmal pass rush. But I'm going to stop the drop of pass rusher Gregory Rousseau. He's a guy, I know this is a 3-4 scheme. He fits better in a 4-3. But he's a guy that lined up at 3-tech and just dominated. And I think that he could still dominate in a 3-tech, 3-4 defense. Gregory Rousseau, big dude, 6'7", 250-something. Upside to stand outside as an edge guy. Or he could put his hand in the dirt, pack on weight, play 3-tech. Could play 3-tech at his size right now. Does not matter. And here comes Kadarius Toney off the board. You take your quarterback, you take your receiver, and you are having fun in 2021, New York Jets fans. Rashad Bateman, I think he's got Devontae Adams' ability. He's got Devontae Adams' route running ability, playmaking ability, post catch, and red zone ability. I think Rashad Bateman's a really good receiver. He's going to pair very well with Justin Fields. They're going to mesh very well. And number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as I would love to, go with a big need in offensive tackle, I just don't feel like Christian Darrisaw is that guy. And I do think you are in dire need of corner help. Where is my corner? Asante Samuel Jr. You already know who his dad is if you're a real football fan. If not, look him up. Big playmaker, yes, undersized, just like his dad, but just as ferocious, tenacious, and physical as his dad. Asante Samuel comes off the board. He looks good. He will look very good in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. He's a guy that could have a very long career. Now, Darisaw come here. It's just best tackle off the board. Darisaw, you get your quarterback, you get your protector. I like their offensive tackle room. I liked Jawan Taylor. Is that his name? Don't quote me on that. I've been doing so many Madden rebuilds, I don't even remember his name. And then Cam Robinson, the left tackle from Alabama a couple years ago, got drafted in the second round. I was a big fan of him, but as you can tell, he hasn't panned out. Christian Darisaw just next best tackle. You might as well just keep throwing first round tackles at them. One of them's got to hit. Number 26, the Cleveland Browns have edge. You would love to pair a guy with Myles Garrett, but I believe you need some off-ball linebacker athleticism. Love Mac Wilson, but I think he's more of a inside Mike downhill guy. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK out of Notre Dame. If you haven't looked him up, one of the better linebacker athletes. Number 27, the Baltimore Ravens definitely need edge help. And Joseph Osai out of Texas just looks like a Raven. Tall, long, lanky edge rusher. Huge upside. I think he does have a little bit lower of a floor than some of these edge guys, but I'm willing to take him. Number 28 off the board, and you're like, Nick, if you don't know who Nick Bolton is, very good athletic cover linebacker, maybe the best over JOK, but I just don't believe Nick Bolton is a Saint at heart. No trade mock draft. I hate to do this, but Dylan Moses, man, at 28th overall, he would have been in this range last year if he came out with the ACL. I'll take him this year. Dylan Moses, he's, my opinion, when you think of a middle linebacker, Dylan Moses comes to my mind. Big, thick, athletic linebacker, fluid athlete, downhill, hits you in the mouth, and you might not get up. Dylan Moses, 28th overall to the New Orleans Saints. Green Bay Packers, 29th. Corner this. I would bring Kevin King back. He really showed out this year. Jair is really good. I hate to admit it. Jair is a good corner. Not as good as people think. Very good corner. I do not believe in Eric Stokes, Aaron Robinson, Greg Newsome. A lot of people are drafting Ifeatu Melifonwu in the first. I'm like, this dude is not a second round pick. Yes, his brother's athletic, and yes, he's athletic like his brother, Obi Melifonwu. But right now, I think you just can't miss out at a guy like Kadarius Toney. You have size with Alan Lazard, route running and red zone ability with Davante Adams. You need that speed separator. Kadarius Toney, Senior Bowl showout, fluid, uber athletic. He's a guy that's just going to dominate with Aaron Rodgers. He's a guy that could go for 100 and 1,000 every year. Number 30, the Buffalo Bills. I like the corner room, Taron Johnson, Tre'Davious White. Safety might be the best tandem in the league. I like their linebacker room. I love Tremaine Edmonds. I was really high on him coming out. I thought he could be a guy that could be an all-pro and Pro Bowl every year, and he's proved it this year. Love Matt Milano, undersized, off-ball edge guy. I think here you could take a luxury pick. You could take a receiver. I like the upside of their backfield. You could take Najee Harris or ETN here. Singletary is coming into his third year. Zach Moss is coming into his second. Both are a little more similar than I thought. I thought Zach Moss would be a little bit more of a downhill back, but he lost a little weight, got a little lighter, a lot better in the receiving game. So now you have two backs that are a little more similar than you think. Yes, you would love speed with ETN. Yes, you would love the size, downhill ability with Najee Harris, but I don't think you have that luxury pick yet. I think you just got to go offensive line. I am a big fan of Alex Leatherwood. I would still take him over many of these other offensive linemen. Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama doesn't look like a Bill, but he could end up being a very good Buffalo Bill for a very long time. Number 31, I don't know why they're mocking receiver. I love the receiver core. All you really need is two receivers, Travis Kelsey, and a running back that could catch 20, 30 balls a season. And you have that. You have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's probably going to catch 40 balls next year. Travis Kelsey is probably going to go over 80 catches. And Tyreek Hill is probably going to go over 1,200 yards next year. You don't need much in this offense, but Patrick Mahomes, a tight end, two good receivers, and a running back that could catch. But right now, I think Nick Bolton would be a really nice pair with the upside of Willie Gay Jr., who is a uber athletic, really big linebacker. He's like 6'1", 240 something, almost 250. Really fast, really fluid. He could rush off the edge. I like him blitzing inside. I think he has really good interior blitz ability as a linebacker. But Nick Bolton and Willie Gay could be a nice base defense nickel linebacker duo next year. And I think this is a luxury pick for Kansas City. You lost a good game. You just got beat. Kansas City. Nothing bad about that. They just were ready for you, and you weren't ready for them. And here come the Super Bowl champs. Brady is back. Gronk is back. Mike Evans is taking a pay cut. What was the biggest need? Running back really showed up. Ronald Jones, in my opinion, was one of the better running backs and harder running backs to bring down 101. Leonard Fournette showed up in the playoffs. Cameron Brate, good tight end. O.J. Howard comes back next year. You're hoping to re-sign Chris Godwin. You're hoping to re-sign Antonio Brown. Receivers off the board. Tight ends off the board. Running backs off the board. Corners off the board. Do you take offensive linemen? Maybe, maybe not. You were good with what you had. Interior offensive linemen? Maybe, maybe not. This is probably the most luxury pick in the draft. Yes, you have guys like running back Harris, Etienne, who are both better and could be better than Fournette. And Ronald Jones. Yes, Jalen Phillips, concussions are a problem. Luxury pick. Jalen Mayfield, Tevin Jenkins, Liam Etchenberg with who can be paired nicely with Tristan Wirfs, but none of those guys are left tackles to me. Mac Jones, nope. I am going to take, yes, this is going to be probably one of the weirdest picks here. Where is he? But I think they're going to reach on somebody who might not have the best record, might not be the top of everybody's, board anymore. But I'm going to take Hamilcar Rashed Jr. out of Oregon State. A lot of draft analysis fell off of this guy. At the beginning of the season, he was a top 20 mock. He was a guy that was going to be this uber athletic edge rusher who could line up hand in the dirt in a 4-3 or stand up in a 3-4. Nickel-based defense. He could play off ball. He could play everything. Hamilcar Rashed Jr., great size, versatility, and athleticism. I think it's a luxury pick. They're going to say, we're going to go for a guy with a lot of flexibility, with the aging pass rush with Jason Pierre-Paul. I know people are like, Shaquille Barrett's still really good. He showed up in the Super Bowl. He's, 29, turning 30? He's a guy that is a lot older than you think he is. Played, 4 years? 4 years in Denver, 2 years here, and he's already, turning 29? He was coming in at 23 years old, I think. Shaq Barrett is not the youngest guy in the building. And I think Hamilcar Rashed, who, in my opinion, has the ability to be a Shaquille Barrett type player, comes off the board to Tampa. And I think you've got a really good revamped front seven with a versatile guy like him. And that is the end of my first round mock draft. No trades. To recap, Trevor Lawrence to the Jags, number 1 overall. Justin Fields to the New York Jets, number 2 overall. Penei Sewell to the Dolphins. Zach Wilson to the Falcons. Kyle Pitts to the Bengals. Devonta Smith to the Eagles. Jamar Chase to the Detroit Lions. Trey Lance to the Carolina Panthers. Patrick Surtain to the Denver Broncos, Michael Parsons to the Dallas Cowboys, Jalen Waddle to the New York Giants, Sean Wade might be the worst pick if the draft analysis were watching this, but I'm a big fan. Sean Wade, number 12 to the San Francisco 49ers, Rashawn Slater to the Chargers, Quiddy Pay to the Vikings, Rondell Moore to the Patriots, J.C. Horn to the Cards, the Raiders get Elijah Vera Tucker, Zaven Collins to the Dolphins, Caleb Farley to the Redskins. Oh, not the Redskins football team. Sorry. Sam Cosmi to the Bears. He looks like a bear. Terrace Marshall to the Colts, Rousseau to the Titans, Rashard Bateman to the Jets at their second first-round pick, Asante Samuel Jr. to the Steelers, Christian Darrisaw to the Jags, another first-round pick, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK with the Cleveland Browns, number 26th overall. Joseph Osai looks like a Raven to the 27. Dylan Moses looks like a Saints, 28th overall. Kadarius Toney, playmaker to the Packers. Alex Leatherwood, old school lineman to the Bills. Nick Bolton, nice duo potential with Willie Gay to the Chiefs. And luxury pass rusher pick, Hamilka Rashid Jr. And if you watch another video and you're like, dude, this dude's wearing the same outfits, because I'm filming it in the same day. I might change the hat just for you. But that is my first round mock draft with no trades. Thank you very much for listening, tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see, what you want to see next, what you like, what you don't like, content options. I will be trying to do team-specific mock drafts in the coming weeks. Let me know what team you want to mock draft. Let me see if you want to have a fun fantasy mock draft. Let me see if you want to have mock draft for trades. Second, third round mock draft is coming. And, thank you for listening. A like, share, and subscribe will be greatly appreciated going towards what I want to make this as, a potential full-time thing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, just everything helps. A like, a share, subscribe, just anything to get my channel off the feet, man, off the ground. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the flip.